Hey guys, today we're gonna see how to write UI testing for a page in the Next.js. So first we're gonna see that what is the actual page and what the actual component that is rendering in the screen. So we have a counter as a component and count as a page, and it looks like this one. We have a description and we are passing the value as a check value, and the default counter value is 0, and we have a input box. So we have a 1 as a default, and we have a plus and minus buttons, and now the current count is 0. So the input box is working as a value receiver. By the value we can increment or decrement the count. So if we have a 1, we can directly click on plus. The count will gonna increase to 1, and again we will gonna press 1, it will gonna increase by another 1, so it will gonna be 2. In the same way we can decrement by the minus button, and it will become 0. So this is our actual component that is rendering in the screen. So we're gonna write your test cases for this page. Let's see how to write your test cases for this. So first we need to create a test file for the page. The page name is count, so we're gonna write count.test.js. Now the first thing we're gonna import the methods that will gonna given by React testing library. The main method there, it provide us the render. So we're gonna import it first. So the render will create a virtual DOM for us. If we pass the component, the render will render it and create a virtual DOM, and the testing will be done on top of that virtual DOM. So it is taking the reference of that virtual DOM and checking that every values what we are expecting are coming properly or not. So let's start writing the test. Describe, let's write test to the counter. The first thing is, our main motive is we should see right in the screen. Before that, I'll go and show you that what actually counter is. So we have a counter is receiving a description as a props and default count, and after that it will gonna showing those values. So we have a counter as a component. Let's see the page. We have a page that is count.js. We can see that we're importing that counter component and passing the props, that description, that is check value, and default count is 0. So as we can see in the screen, we have a check value and 0. So we should expect that the check value and 0 should come in the screen, because it's not a static thing that we are passing the props value, it should come, right? So first test, we're gonna write that actually page is working properly, rendering the component properly or not. So first we're gonna write should properly. So as I mentioned, the render method is used to create the virtual DOM, and taking the virtual DOM for testing, so to check the values are actually present or not. So first we'll do the render method, and we're passing what we are passing, the page, right? We need to render the page. For that we need to import the page first, and we pass that count. So this will gonna create a virtual DOM for the count page. So how we can see that the virtual DOM is created or not? We can see using debug. We have a screen method that is also coming from a React testing library. Using that screen method, we have a screen.debug to see that whatever the virtual DOM is created, we can see that in our command prompt. Let's see. Let's run this test case. As we see, nothing has failed, but is console logging the DOM that is created by the render method. So we're using screen.debug to see that what is created in the screen. So we have a body, we have a div, and we have a description, check value, everything has created as like we have our page. If you go to the route, how we can see in the screen, the same way it is created. Now what we need to check, that what we're expecting in the screen should be there. So our actual screen is ready. Now we need to check that we have same values that we're expecting are there or not. So first thing, let's comment it out. First thing we're gonna do, expect. Now the screen have a different screen is used to give you some queries that you use to grab the node and check the value of that node. So we can use screen dot get by text. You can see you have all these things, get all by role, get all by test ID, everything we can't use in a single time. When we have different scenarios, in different scenario we can use different kind of queries. So for these cases I need to check the text that should come in the screen or not. I can check with the get by text. Text is description and it was a check value, and the default counter 0. Now we are checking that this is the element. Okay, that we are grabbing it from the node by taking that get by text. We're passing that. Okay, you just go and check this node that contains with the description, check value, and dc.0. If these things actually present in the screen, this will return the element. And how to check this one? To be in the document. So we're checking that it is present in that document or not. Okay, so if we run this one, let's see. Okay, now you can see that it has failed. Now you have a description, you have a check value, you have a DC 0. What was missing? The space. Is it? The space was missing, right? If you can see, there is a space in between 0 and the colon. So let's make it proper. Now run this one. Now you can see that it is working fine. So in the same way, we have a different type of queries. Now I have used get by text, get by test ID. Different things are there. For get by, for every get by, if it matches, it will gonna return the element. If it not gonna match, it will gonna throw me an error. Okay, and for the asynchronous purpose, we can't use these queries. But if we go to find by text, find by test ID, that will gonna we can use for asynchronous purpose. And the difference, you can see that get by and query by, it will not match anything from the screen, it will gonna throw you error. But the query by text or query by test ID will not gonna return you error, it will gonna return you null. So you can use this based on your purpose, different purposes. If you need that get by, you can go with get by. If you need query by test ID or query by text, you can go with a query by test ID queries also. So let's see another thing. Another thing we need to expect that we have a current count also present in the screen, right? This current count also should be 0. So in the same way, we're going to write screen, and we're grabbing it from the screen, and we're writing that current count will be 0 and should be present in the document. Let's run this again. It is passing. Though the first test case is done. In a second scenario, what we can see, let's go to the component first, the page actually. The actions that we are performing in the screen, like what we can perform, we can write it's a 2, and we perform a click on the button, and it will going to increase it to 2 because we passed the value is 2. In this scenario, we need to do it using the test cases. How to do that in the test cases? Let's see. So first we write what we are actually testing. Perform increment with the value. In the same way, we can render it first. First we need to render the page. Now our page and screen is ready. Now we can test it on top of that. Now the first thing we need to do, we need to type something here, like 2 or 3 or something like that, to type, right? How to achieve that? So React testing library comes with some sort of user events like click, hover, this kind of things, type. So just import those events, import user from testing library user event. So first thing I need to perform, that user should type something, but where I type that? So I need to find that node using screen, go to the screen and find it using screen dot get by text or get by role. We don't know that how to basically fetch that element from the screen. So for that I need the screen. That means I need the document first. So I just uncomment is this one. I have this one body. Let's copy this one. You can copy the particular element also, and we're going for a React texting playground. Just paste your whole element. So we have the whole component is here. So I need to basically access this input, right? So this will give me that how to access this element. It will gonna show me that screen dot get by role, and it will be the text box, and the text box label, the name basically should be enter value. By that I can grab it from screen. So just copy this one. Most of the cases, if you know, you can write. If you don't know how to find it, you don't have any sort of test IDs or a particular unique thing, you can go and check it here. We're gonna write it screen dot get by role text box and go with the name enter value. So basically where we got the element, and the next thing is what we should do, we need to write something right there. So just comma, we need to write what? We write something, some value 3. Okay, now the next step is to click on the plus button, user dot click, also event, user event, that is also coming from testing library user events. So go with click, user dot click, but where I should click? So go to the playground and check it. We have a button and we are getting it from get by role button, and the button name is plus. So copy it from here. So you can get it right. If you know, you can directly write it. If you don't know, exploring, you can go to the playground, take a help of that and write it here. So we're clicking on the button, that plus button basically. Now what do you expect? So you enter or type 3 and just click on plus. What should it be? The counter, the default count is 0. Now it should be 3, right? Let's see, expect screen dot get by text current count will be 3. to be in the document. It's run properly, right? Let's see. It has failed that we don't have anything get by text current count 3 to be in the document. Let's see the document also here. In the document we can see the current count is 13. How it is possible? So we just perform the same thing in our screen. What we have done is go grab that element input box, type 3 and click on the plus button. It comes 13, but we don't need this one. What we need, we just need to increment with 3, not 13. So first we're gonna select the value that was present before and write 3 and then click on plus button. It is gonna increment by 3. That means 13 plus 3 is 16, right? So I'll gonna show properly. It was 0. Now select all and then enter 3 and then plus. It will gonna comes out as a 3. In the same way we need to do the same thing. So we can't write directly 3. We need to select all. We need to select all the things that present in the input box and type 3. This will gonna work properly. Yeah, the test case has performed. Now see that what is select all. These are the special characters that is coming with user events that will perform in input or text area. So we have a enter, we have a space, we have a escape button, backspace, delete. In select all we have a select all the text element, and after that if you perform anything like write 3 or 4, after that only it will gonna serve the purpose that you want to do. You have a arrow left, arrow right, everything that events that not only the events the coming with like you need to perform enter, you need to perform space or delete something. These will gonna come with this special characteristics. Let's go into this one. So we have tested properly the increment. Now we need to test the decrement also. In the same way we're gonna write the same test message. We'll write decrement. We're gonna render first. And then we're gonna type it something that will gonna grab by the screen.getByRole text box, and then we are passing the value of the input box. So we are writing in a form of regex. You can writing as a string also, no issue. And select all as a character string and write 4. then user dot click screen dot get by role, and we're gonna find out which one, the button, right? We need to find out the button first, and then we need to go for the minus button basically. So we need to specify the name is minus, right? We need to click on the minus button, and what we should expect screen dot get by text, the current count should be -4, right? Should be in the document first. Just checking that it's working properly or not. So let's see. We have one failed test cases. Okay, so get by role button. Okay, so what was the mistake? We have written button in a capital caps. We need to check again. Yeah, everything has passed.